Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Study with me. Today I'm going to talk about chemistry higher level paper 1 May 2022 time zone 1. If you guys find this video is helpful, don't forget to subscribe and let your other friends know about my channel so you guys can study together. And let's get started. 2.67 of lead carbonate is decomposed by heating until constant mass. So the mass of lead carbonate is 2.67 gram with molar mass is 267. So you can get the mole number, which is 0.01. And for final mass of solid, which is PbO, that would be the same number because the coefficient is the same. So mole is 0.01 and molar mass of PbO is 243. So to find mass is mole times molar mass, 0.01 times 243, you will get 2.23 gram. 0.02 mole of zinc is added to 10 centimeter cube of 1 molar hydrochloric acid. How many moles of hydrogen are produced? So I'm going to rewrite the equation here to do some calculation that is more clear. Okay, so we need to define, or we need to find out the limiting reactant. So initial here is 0.02 and for hydrochloric acid is 0.01 times 1 because the volume is 10 centimeter cube divided by 1000 is 0.01 and then the molarity is, or concentration is 1, so you will get 0.01. so that is obviously HCl will be the limiting reactant because first smaller mole. So this will be finished, so reacted. Okay, wait, I make it like this, so this will be finished. And for zinc, that would be half of the 0.01 because here coefficient is 2, so you will get 0.005. so how many moles of hydrogen are produced? It will be 0.005 because coefficient of H2 and zinc are the same, so 0.005. 8.8 of an oxide of nitrogen contains 3.2 of oxygen. What is the empirical formula of the compound? So we have NNO. So for oxygen is 3.2 gram. So for nitrogen obviously will be 5.6, 8.8 minus 3.2. So you can calculate mole of N, 5.6 divided by its smaller atomic relative mass, which is 14 and will be equal to 0.4. And for oxygen will be 3.2 divided by 16 will be 0.2. So is 2:1. So N2O. Okay, naturally occurring gallium consists of two isotopes, 71 Ga and 69 Ga. So I will give for GaX and then Ga69 is X, and then this one will be 100 minus X. So when we plot into the formula, so that would be 69 times X plus 71 times 100 minus X divided by 100. Here is 69.72. So 69x minus 71x plus 7100. Okay, so I will just remove the 100 here by multiply this, so there is no more point, so 6972. Okay, so 6972 equal to negative 2x plus 7100. You get X is around 64, so it's near to 60%. Okay, So the graph showed the first 6 ionization energies of an element. So for 13, that would be electronic structure would be 283, and this one 284, 285, 286. As you can see, the first 3 electrons are removed easily because it doesn't need high ionization energy, but directly jump into the 4th one. So this will be removed from the stable structure. So it's A, because the first 3 electrons can be removed easily, but for the 4th one it's not. In case for B, that would be 4 closed here, the 4th will be closed. In case of 15, 2 of this will be closed. In case of 16, all of them should be closed together. Which gases are acidic? Nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide. Okay, so nitrogen dioxide, without doing a reaction, actually you will know all of them actually acidic. Carbon dioxide will produce H2CO3 if react with water, and then sulfur dioxide is non-metal, and then nitrogen are also non-metal. So non-metal and non-metal, both of them will produce acid, and CO2 also cause acid deposition. So 1, 2, 3 will be acidic gases. Actually, when nitrogen dioxide react with water, it will produce HNO3 and HNO2, and carbon dioxide will produce H2CO3, and sulfur dioxide of course will produce sulfuric acid. So all of them are acidic. Which of the following is the electron configuration of a metallic element? So Ne is 10. Okay, number of electron of Ne is 10. So this total will be adding the electron, this 4, so will be 14, and this one will be 16, and this one will be 23, and this one will be 35. You just add with the number of electron here with Ne, which is 10. So 14, if you look at the data booklet, this will be Si, it's not a metal, and this will be sulfur, it's not a metal as well. And then 23, it's vanadium, it's a transition metal, and this one is Br, it's a gas, bromine gas. So the answer will be C. Why is hydrated copper 2 sulfate blue? The answer is light complementary to blue is absorbed when electrons are promoted between d orbitals. Okay, why is not A? The blue color hydrated copper 2 sulfate is not due to emit light, but rather do absorb light. That's why it's wrong. And for B, it implies that blue light itself is absorbed when electrons return to lower d orbitals. It's actually the opposite. Wavelengths of light complementary to blue are absorbed, leaving blue light to be transmitted, resulting in observed blue color. And for C, it suggests that blue light is emitted during the process of electron promotion between d orbitals. However, in hydrated copper 2 sulfate is not due to emit light but absorb light. And for D is absorbed. That's why the answer is D. A compound consists of DCA2 plus and PO4 3 minus. So if you do crisscross, you will get CH3PO4 2. Okay, so obviously between B and C, but the name is not calcium phosphoric oxide but calcium phosphate, because this is phosphate ion. That's why it's D. What is the explanation for the high melting point of sodium chloride? Its electrostatic attraction between sodium and chloride ions is strong. NaCl is an ionic compound formed by the transfer electron from sodium atom to chlorine atoms. These atoms are held together in a lattice structure by strong electrostatic forces of attraction. Due to high strength, a considerable amount of energy is required to overcome them, resulting in the high melting point. For which species can resonance structures be drawn? It's HCOO minus. In case for the A, that would be OH, cannot be, there is no delocalized electron. And for B, so you can do delocalized electrons right here, okay, either this one and then this one, so two resonance. And then for C, that would be methanol. Obviously there is no resonance. And then for D, that would be like this. You cannot do resonance for this structure, so that's why the answer is B. In which compound are all carbon atom sp3 hybridized? So for A, it's HC, triple bond C and H. For B, CHCl, C, this will be double bond, okay. And for C, and for D, that would be Cl, 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 and Cl. The answer is D. Why? It's sp3. sp3 atom with 4 single bond, or 3 single bond, 1 lone pair, or 2 single bond, 2 lone pairs. So it should be 4 domain. So that would be sp3. For sp2, 2 single bond, 1 lone pair. So 2 single bond, 1 lone pair, or 2 lone pairs, 1 double bond, or 1 double bond and 1 single bond and 1 lone pair. For sp is 1 single bond, 1 triple bond, this one, and 2 double bonds, or 1 triple bonds and 1 lone pair. So that's why the answer is D. D, sp3 is atom with 4 single bond, this one. So sp3, and this one is sp3 as well. What are the electron domain and molecular geometries of the XeF4? So Xe is coming from group 8, so it has 8 valence electron. So this will be F4. So only 4, then we need 2 more. So 6 domain is octahedral, and molecular geometry is planar because it has 2 lone pairs. So the answer will be C. The energy from burning 0.250 gram of ethanol causes the temperature of 150 centimeter cube of water to rise by 10.5 degrees Celsius. What is the enthalpy of combustion of ethanol in kilojoule per mole? So delta H is mc delta T divided by mole. So mole M divided by mR, it needs to be times 1000 because in kilojoule per mole, but the specific heat capacity is in joule, that's why it's divided by 1000. So if you plot into the formula, that will be 150 times 4.18 times 10.5, because delta T is 10.5, divided by mass is 0.250, divided by ethanol. The molar mass of ethanol is 46.08 after you do some calculations. Ethanol CH3CH2OH times 1000. So the answer will be B. What is the enthalpy change of the following reaction? So delta H will be delta H product minus delta HF reactants. So product will be this. This is the product. So negative 156 minus reactant. So reactant is HBr and CH2CH3, okay, which is 0.1. So 0.1 plus negative 36.3, you will get negative 109.8. Which compound has the largest value of the lattice enthalpy? Lattice enthalpy is the energy required to separate a solid compound into its gaseous atoms, influenced by the charges and size of the ions involved. In general, lattice enthalpy increases with the charge of the ions and decreases with their size. Both Na and K comes from group 1 metal, so they have similar charge density, but K ion is larger than Na ion, so because the atomic size increases down the group. Similarly, for oxygen and sulfur from non-metal group, sulfur from group 16 is larger than oxygen because down the group, so it should be smaller ion radius or atomic radius, which is Na, and if we compare oxygen and sulfur, oxygen also is smaller than sulfur, therefore the combination should be Na2O, because both of them are smaller compared to Na compared to K, oxygen compared to sulfur. In which reaction does entropy decrease? So if from solid to liquid to gas, entropy increases, or number of mole product, okay, bigger than number of mole reactants, also this increases. So solid to aqueous, it increase, or liquid or aqueous, okay, increase. And this solid and aqueous, so number of mole is 2, 1 and 1, and then aqueous and gas also 2, so no change. And gas is 2 and solid is 1, and number of reactants bigger than product, so decreases, and gas to solid also decreases. And for this one, solid to gas, so there is one gas, solid to gas, so it will increase. So that's why the answer is C. A sample of calcium carbonate reacts with excess hydrochloric acid. So hydrochloric acid has more compared to calcium carbonate. The solid line show the mass of the beaker change with time. Which dashed line represent the result obtained when the acid concentration is double? So now we have double concentration of acid, but number of mole of calcium carbonate stays the same. It means it will produce the same amount or of product, but the reaction is just faster. Therefore, C and D will not be the answer, because it has a different amount of this line, so it means the amount of product will not be the same, but the amount of calcium carbonate stays the same. Therefore, C and D is not the answer. So between A and B, if you want to see which one that show the faster reaction, that would be B. The key here, because of steeper slope, okay, steeper slope, it means a faster rate of change, or faster when concentration is double, but this one is slower. That's why the answer is B. A student was investigating rates of reaction. In which of the following cases would a colorimeter show a change in absorbance? Okay, the answer will be A. Why? Because KBr is a white crystalline powder. It's it doesn't have color white, and Cl2 has the orange color. Okay, so it will produce orange color. Obviously can be detected by colorimeter. But for B, it forms a solid precipitation of CuSO4, and there is no color of the solution, so it cannot be detected. And for C, it is a neutralization reaction, which only involve a change in chemical composition, but there is no color, so it cannot be detected. And for D, it's an oxidation reaction. Okay, with the formation of Cr3 plus ion, it will cause a color change, but it might not be very significant enough to be detected because it is not very high, maybe concentration, but Cl2 is definitely colored water, so it's definitely will be detected by the colorimeter. Okay, number 20, the table shows data for the hydrolysis of a halogenoalkane, RCl, which statements are correct. We can see from the experiment for NaOH, so this is the same, the concentration. So double the concentration and double rate. So this will be 10. 10 times 10 to the power negative 7. So double the concentration, double rate, that means first order. Double the concentration, quadruple the rate, it means second order. But if there is no change, it means zero order. So for NaOH, it will be first order. And for RCl, these are the same. And these are the concentration, is double the concentration, also double rate. So that will be 2. So double rate. It's also first order. So the total order will be 2. Okay, so actually all of them are correct. And the reaction proceeds by an SN2 mechanism, because SN2, it's second order overall. SN2 mechanism, it proceeds in one step, second order reaction. SN1, it proceeds in 2 steps, but first order reaction. That's the difference. That's why the reaction proceed by SN2 mechanism is correct, because SN2 mechanism is a mechanism that has second order reaction in total. Okay, so what is the activation energy according to the following plot of the linear form of the Arrhenius equation? So gradient equal to negative EA divided by R, and the slope, which is negative 2 divided by 0.06. So EA times 0.06, if you rewrite again, 8.31 times 2. So EA will be 8.31 times 2 divided by 0.06. So the answer will be A. Okay, so next, half Cl2 plus half I2 produce ICl with Kc 454. What is the Kc value for the reaction below? So as you can see, the coefficient is double, double to ICl, this is 1, and reverse. If it's reverse, Kc to the power negative 1, and if it's double, Kc squared. So reverse 454 and squared, D. At equilibrium, the concentrations of chlorine and iodine are both 0.02 mole per decimeter cube. What is the concentration of iodine monochloride, ICl? Okay, so Kc will be concentration of ICl divided by Cl2 to the power half and I2 to the power half as well. Okay, we can just say ICl as X, and then for this one will be 0.02 times to the power half, and this one also 0.02 times to the power half. So you will get 444 x divided by 0.02. So x will be 454 times 0.02. So the answer will be B. Which species are acids in the equilibrium below? So as this donates proton, so this will be acid because lose the proton here, and this one will be conjugate base, and this one will be conjugate acid, because here is acid, this will be conjugate base, and this conjugate acid. And conjugate acid is acting as an acid in the reverse direction. So which species are acid on the equilibrium below? That would be B, because this one also acting as an acid in the reverse direction. So this is equilibrium, so it can be forward and reverse. Which 0.01 mole aqueous solution has the highest pH? When it comes to the highest pH, you directly think that either is weak acid or strong base or weak base, but it should be a base. So base among these three is NaOH, and among these four, NaOH and NH3. But why we choose NaOH? Because NaOH is a strong acid, so it's completely dissociate or fully dissociate, but NH3 is partially dissociate. Okay. Which statement explains the Lewis acid-base nature of the chloride ion in this reaction? It will be A. So Lewis acid, a electron pair acceptor, and Lewis base is electron pair donor. Cl- has an electron pair as an ion that donates a pair of electron. That's why Lewis base, because it donates a pair of electron for Cl. Okay, so number 27. In which set are the salts arranged in order of increasing pH? Okay, so we have HCOONH4, KBr, NH4Br, and HCOOK. Okay, so HCOONH4, okay, this is formed by HCOOH, so it's slightly acidic. Okay, and for KBr, it's between KOH and HBr. Okay, so it's strong base and strong acid, so it's neutral. And for NH4Br, it's between NH4OH and HBr. Okay, it's a weak base and strong acid, so it will be acidic. And for HCOOK is HCOOH and KOH. That would be weak acid and strong base, so it's basic. HCOONH4, why it is slightly acidic? Okay, it's from weak acid and weak base. Okay, so the reaction will be HCOONH4. If it's react with water, it will produce HN4 plus, HCOO minus, and H3O plus. Ammonium is the conjugate acid of a weak base. It can donate H plus to water, resulting acidic solution. KOH and KBr fully dissociate, so completely neutralize. Thus, HCOONH4 is slightly acidic, resulting from the reaction of the ammonium ions. Therefore, the answer will be this one. So NH4Br, it's acidic, and then HCOONH4 is slightly acidic, and then it goes to neutral, and then it goes to basic. That's why the answer is C. In which of the following species would sulfur be reduced if converted to SCl2? SCl2, so here is -2, so Cl -1, so 2, so -2, so S will be 2. So for S2O3 2 minus, that would be equal to -2, or -2 times 3 -6, and S2 will be plus 4 S2, but for 1S is plus 2, so there is no change. And for B, H2S -2 and plus 2 plus 1 for H, -2 to 2, it's oxidation, so it's not reduced. And for S, free element is 0, 2 plus 2, also oxidation. SO2, so -4 plus 4, so plus 4, 2 plus 2, reduce. So the answer is D. How many electrons are needed when the following half equation is balanced using the lowest possible whole number? Okay, so the first step, we need to write half equation. So we have NO3 and NO. NO3 becomes NO. So N equal, but oxygen no. So now the step, we need to balance number of oxygen by adding H2O. All right, so I will just write it here so it will be easier. So oxygen here is 3 and here is 1, so we need to add H2O right here. So now 3O, 3O. Okay, the third one, we need to balance number of hydrogen by adding H plus. So here there is no hydrogen, but here 4 hydrogen, so 4H plus. And the fourth one, balance the charge by adding electron number as a negative charge. So here is plus 4 and O3 minus, so -1. So we have plus 3 right here, but here there is no charge, 0, so we need to make it 0 as well, because on the right side is 0. By adding the electron is negative, so here plus 3, so electron will be -3, so 3 electron. What are the products when dilute aqueous copper 2 nitrate is electrolyzed using platinum electrodes? Okay, so NOx and cathode, I always do this. So at the cathode, it will be negative electrode. At the cathode, it will be negative. Okay, so when it's negative, of course, it will be Cu. Okay, so Cu will be produced there. So Cu, so between A and D. And then now at the anode, as it is platinum electrode, there will be oxygen will be produced, because the potential that is given is -0.34 volt. So copper electrode will not be oxidized. Instead, oxygen will be evolved at the anode. So oxygen, that would be, the reaction is 4OH minus produce oxygen gas and 2H2 plus electron. You can see on the data booklet. Data booklet is not provided here, but anyway, the key here is because the electrode potential that is provided is -0.34 volt, so it's very low, so copper will not be oxidized, so oxygen will be produced. In the electrolysis apparatus shown, 0.59 gram of Ni is deposited of the cathode of the first cell. So what is the mass of Ag deposit on the cathode of the second cell? So Ni 2 plus, so involve 2 electron. Okay, so that would be 0.02 mole. Okay, so how do we find 0.02 mole? We need to find the mole of Ni. So mass of Ni is 0.59, and then molar mass or atomic mass of Ni is 59. That will be 0.01 mole. So because it's 2 electrons, so it's 0.02 mole. And to find mass is mole times Mr. So mole is 0.02 times Mr of Ag, which is 107.87. Then you will get 2.16 gram. Which functional groups are present in serine? This amino, this carboxylic acid, this hydroxyl group. So the answer will be D. Which compounds are members of the same homologous series? Okay, for this is aldehyde, ketone, and carboxylic acid. So it's no. Propane, propene, propyne. Alkane, alkene, alkyne, no. This one, alcohol, 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 and also alcohol. But the answer is D instead of C. Why? Because C doesn't represent a homologous series, because although they have all OH functional group, alcohol, but they do not differ by repeating unit of CH2, only position of OH. 1 OH, 2 OH, and 3 OH. But for D is repeating CH2. So adding CH2 becomes propane, adding CH2 becomes butane. And it's all contains hydroxyl group. That's why the answer is D. So homologous series is repeated unit of CH2, not position. Position is isomers. Which reagents and conditions are best for converting propane 1-ol into propanoic acid? Of course, it's an oxidation reaction, so you need reflux and potassium dichromate. What are the type of reaction and role of the nitronium ion and O2 plus in the following reaction? And O2 is an electrophile and it has a positive charge, so it's an electrophile, so this one is not. And it means electron deficient and seeks to attract electron from other atom or molecule. They are known for their ability to accept an electron pair during chemical reaction. So it substitutes H plus as a leaving group. So the answer will be A. What is molecule Z that is formed in step 1 of this synthetic route? So it used SN and concentrated HCl. SN is acting as a reducing agent that reacts in acidic condition, forming aniline. Okay, C6, H5, and H2. Okay, aniline can react with excess HCl, forming its conjugate acid, where it involves protonation of the amino group in aniline by HCl, forming anilium chloride. That's why you will find NH3 plus ions as found as part of the reaction. The answer is B. So the reaction would be C6H5 and H2 plus HCl, forming C6H5 and H3Cl. That's why you find NH3 plus here. What are the EZ designations of these stereoisomers? The answer will be both E and E, which is opposite or trans. So let me write it back here. The structure of these two stereoisomers, so you can see that both of them is opposite or trans or E. So the first one will be CH3, C double bond C, and C2H5, and H and CH3. And for the second one, that would be C double bond O, H, CH3, H, and CH3. So C2H5, so this here, and then CH3 this one, and then H this one, and then CH3 this one. So you can see the opposite for CH3 and the opposite of CH3 as well. That's why it's E or trans. Okay. So next, which compound produce the following HNMR spectrum? There's propanol, propanone, propane, and methyl propane. Okay, we need to find the amount of H environment peaks. So there are 3 peaks right here. If we write back the structure of propanol, so propanol will be CH3, CH2, COOH. It has 3 H environment. And for propanone, CH3, C double bond O, CH3, it's symmetrical, so it has only 1. So propanone, no. And propane, CH3, CH2, and CH3. So it will be 2 because this is the same, and then this, so 2H environment. And for D, methyl propane, so C and then H, CH3, CH3, and there's CH3 as well. So this will be 2. So the answer is propanol. What is the index of hydrogen deficiency, IHD, of this molecule? We can calculate C will be 8, H will be 9, there is no X, and N will be 1. So here there is 1H, here there is 1H, here there is 1H, here there is 1H. So IHD is 2C plus 2 minus H minus X plus N. So divided by 2. So 2 times 8 plus 2 minus 9 plus 1 divided by 2, it's 5. Okay, which compound produced this mass spectrum? Alright, so you can see the last one, or the highest MZ, is 60. As I said, this means the compound itself. And we have CH3 here, and we have 45 right here. Okay, so let's check all of this structure. C2H6O2, molar mass is 62, so it's not 60. A is not. B is C3H8O, 60, probably. For D, C2H5Cl, 64, it's not. This one, C2H4O2, 60. So between C and D. Now we go to CH3, 15. It has 15 here, it has 15 here. Okay, now let's check 45. 45, it's COOH. This is 45. Okay, so the answer is C. But what about this? This is 46. So the answer is C, not B. So that's all for the paper 1, May 2022, time zone 1. And I hope this video is helpful for you guys to study for the exam preparation or revision. And if you find this video is helpful, don't forget to subscribe and let your other friend knows about my channel. I will also do other past papers, and don't forget to stay tuned and subscribe. And bye for now.